we'll get going. Okay. And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Hello, and welcome to 360 Gamercast, episode 728, for Tuesday, the 22nd of April, 2025. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson at EastDMRD, Webby 360G, and joining me today is...
I've watched 8 hours of crap WWE wrestling and ate 3 Easter eggs this weekend. It's Nick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well. Since I switch.
Well, I have to say, Nick, I watched 8 hours of WrestleMania this weekend as well.
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, I'm glad it's on Netflix now because I would never have watched it, but I wouldn't have watched it otherwise. It was just quite because the kids obviously have been waking me up early as kids do. So, you know, downstairs just stick the WrestleManias on both days in the morning and chill out while they're doing other things. It was definitely quite good. I haven't actually properly watched a WrestleMania since like 2001 or something. So it's been a long time.
Well, a lot of people said this is the worst WrestleMania they've had for over 20 years. So
I thought it was all right. I didn't think it was amazing, but I found it was enjoyable anyway.
I just think it's because we're all older and expect like everything to be brilliant at all times. But
yeah,
it kind of should be, as it's all scripted.
Of course.
It's like if it was a scripted football match that the ref's in on it and it just so many games end 0-0, you just think, how does that work?
Well, it's quite interesting because I was watching, obviously, my boy's 7 and my daughter's 4, and my boy's not really massively into it, but I was watching it. Obviously, I had it on a long time, and he got really into a couple of matches. He was like standing going, "Oh, wow, but that hurt," you know, and he was really getting into it. And that's the thing, right? Because when you're younger, you really, you know, like when we're, because I was watching wrestling when I was like 8, 9, 10,
yeah,
up to like 16 or whatever. And I, like, you know, when you're younger, like there's more of that magic for stuff like that than when you're older. It's the same with video games, I think, as well. Because if you think back to nostalgia for video games, you kind of always think back to that kind of age you were, like 10 to 16. Well, in my case, kind of like 10 to 16 is kind of like, for me, was like the PS1 era. So that's kind of like what I kind of feel the most nostalgic to, maybe the Mega Drive as well. I think it's just like that age because you've got no responsibilities, you've got no stress, and everything's kind of shiny and new.
Yeah. That's right. Like I said, I'm not knocking the actual wrestling, you know, the people doing like the actual in-ring stuff. That's fine. That's probably better than when we used to watch it.
Yeah.
Like more technical level. It's just like as a week-to-week television show, it's kind of weak. It's like you watched like John Cena turn heel at the Elimination Chamber like 2.5 months ago, and it wouldn't matter if you've not watched anything, which I assume you probably haven't watched anything since that one, have you?
I've watched a few, but I think the problem with wrestling is the shows are too long. You got Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, and they're like 3 hours each. I don't have time to watch 6 hours of wrestling a week.
Yeah, if you chuck in, like, I don't watch it, but they've got NXT, which is like another 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of stuff, which, you know, back when, like, in the 90s, it was just like 1 2-hour show.
Yeah, it was Raw, Monday Night Raw. And then I remember when they introduced SmackDown with The Rock, but I never really watched SmackDown. Raw for me was always the one, and then I kind of fell off it because I found SmackDown. Girls. What's that?
That was on. Well, I always watched SmackDown because that was on Saturday mornings. And I don't know to be honest, I don't even know if Raw existed back then because I don't know if it was on live or something. But then I watched WCW Monday Nitro on a Friday night because it used to be on Cartoon Network over here.
Oh, okay.
On like a Friday night. So I had cable. I didn't have Sky for a long time.
No, I didn't have Sky either. The only way I watched it was around my mate's house, my mate Dave. Yeah. I used to go around his house every Friday night and we'd watch it live at like 1 a.m. Yeah. So, those were the days.
It was fun. Dominic Mysterio won and Joe Hendry turned up, which was fun. That was probably about it. The Rock just didn't bother showing up and some other twat turned up at the end. I'm like, why are you here?
Yeah. Anyway, should we talk about video games?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be, I think, there is some wrestling questions, actually, Well, there is a wrestling question in the Discord. So I've actually had to put it in my show notes to remember to read out the questions, because I have been guilty in the past of not reading them out, because I kind of like, you know, when the podcast is a couple of hours long and then you're like, I just forget things, especially when I'm drinking, which I am now. So, yeah.
You can always save them up for the following week, can't you?
Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to do some shout outs at the beginning of this week's show, because there's a few shout outs I need to do. First shout out is to Wes, our very own Wes from Discord. Some people will know him. Congratulations to him for having a baby the other day. He is a new dad. So big congrats to you, Wes. He had a little boy, cool, and he's named him Denzel, like Denzel Washington. Yeah. So
that's good.
Yeah, mate.
Named after a legend.
That's it.
So we're never going to play multiplayer with him anymore.
Or he could be named after Denzel from Only Fools and Horses.
Oh, you never know.
Both legends.
Yeah. So awesome news to him. And I was going to shout out the people who are listening on Twitch, but there's only me and Nick. So big shout out to Nick.
Hey, shout out to Webby.
And the Patreons. Now, this is going to take about a minute, so you guys have a sip of cup of tea or something. So big shout out to Alpa Idin, Matthew Crumpton, Gavin Britchford, Zacalyptic, Krusty Boy, Danny Brooks, James Daly, James Bartlett, Robin Farhi, Ben Ansell, Eric DeHorn, Leon, Anthony Johnson, Dazpoz, Craig Wood, Paul Hickin, Jason Adams, Ryan O'Kane, John Levitt, Sean, John Smith, Brian, Philip Thompson, and Wesley Shillingford. Thank you very much for being paid subscribers to the Patreon. So just to let people know about the Patreon, so what I've been doing is there is actually a free tier on there now, and I've noticed that quite a lot of people have joined on the free tier. And what the free tier does is you can just use it as your main podcast feed. So on the 3 weeks of the podcast, I open up the 3 weeks to non-paying people on the Patreon feed as well, so you can just use that feed for the free ones now, if that's what you want to do. And then you have the option to sub if you want, unsub, pay for specific episodes or whatever. So you can do that if you wish. I've noticed there's quite a lot of people on that free tier now, so it's just an option for people. And obviously we stream live on Twitch every Sunday evening, usually 7:30 p.m. We've started at 7 this eve on Monday because it's been Easter. Hope everyone had a lovely Easter. Yeah, that's it. So anyway, let's get into the games we've played. I think I'm going to start because I've played quite a few games this week and I usually play a lot more than you guys. So I'm going to get into one. I was actually in party chat with Darren while I was playing this the other day, actually. The Division 2. Very old game, but I fancied playing it again because there's news of a new expansion coming out soon called the Division 2 Battle for Brooklyn DLC. Apparently it's going to be coming out late April. We are in April, so maybe in the next week or so. So I've actually purchased this game twice. So I've got it on PC. I've put over 100 hours into it on the PC version. Also got it on the Xbox to play through it with Peebs. Went through it with Peebs. Nick actually mentioned in the WhatsApp group that he's never played it. So I thought I'll reinstall it on the Xbox anyway because I want to go through it with Nick and give him a hand because, you know, in my opinion, it's one of the best co-op games out there for just pure fun times.
Yeah, definitely in the next couple of weeks, probably either the weekend or next week.
Sweet, kill. Just let me know, because I'm going to be doing some co-op on another game, which I'm going to mention later, has had a massive update and has become very popular again. But the Division 2, yeah, so I reinstalled it on my Xbox and my PC, but I was playing it on the Xbox the other night, and went online and was chatting to Switch at the time, and our very good friend Pudster came on and joined my game on Division 2, and I noticed there was quite a lot of content that I haven't done, because this game's like 5-6 years old now, and they've continually kept on updating it and keeping the game alive, which I think is, we do have a history, I think, on this podcast, especially me, of slagging off Ubisoft for being shite, but they do support their games for a very long time. You look at Rainbow Six as an example, but the Division 2, they've kept it alive for this amount of time, which is fantastic. And there was quite a lot of content that I haven't done before. So I enjoyed going through that with Pudster, and the graphics. Like, this game is, 6 years old now. It's in its 6th year, but man, this game looks better than a lot of games that have come out in the last year or two, in my opinion. Like, the graphics are fantastic. The lighting is phenomenal. And I was playing it on the Series S on Friday night with Pudster as well.
Playing it on the One X.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I did actually play a little bit of it on the PC today, because I wanted to see what it looked like on my ultra-wide OLED, and it looks fantastic on there. But it was really funny, because I went through the Coney Island DLC with Pudster, and I was like, and I was saying to him, the lighting looks amazing, the graphics look great. I've not done this before. And then I went onto my PC game this afternoon, and I was like, I have done it on air, so I must have done it before and forgot. So it's been many years, right? So, but that's cool. But, it's kind of one of those games that they do weekly updates and challenges and things, loads of content. It's kind of like Ubisoft just before they started going proper downhill, in my opinion, with some of the games. I mean, not every game's shite, right? I mean, I like the Crew Motorfest. I think that's good fun. But the Division games, I really enjoy. So, I just want to say, it's been really nice going back to it. It is nice going back to some of those older games that, you've been missing a bit. And so, it's been a long time and it feels kind of fresh. So I'm looking forward to jumping on it with Nick. So just wanted to give it a mention, really. That DLC, that Brooklyn DLC is, so it's meant to be coming out the 20. Okay, so they reckon it might be the 23rd of April, so only a couple of days away, and it's going to be 15 quid. So, yeah, man, I think I'll be picking that up. And, it's a good fun game. So, The Division 2, fantastic. Over to you, Nick.
Yeah, I bought, I say new for me this week, because I played it last week on PS5 when there was a free weekend, and that's the Crew Motorfest.
Oh, funny, I just mentioned that.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? But, yeah, I mean, it was cheap. I was in at Smith's for like 15 quid. So I thought, yeah, I'll pay 15 quid, because I don't want to pay too much. But, yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. It's more of an arcadey type one than Gran Turismo, so it's kind of like Forza Horizon. I'm not sure if there's much you can do like in between it, because I've only played it for maybe 3 or 4 hours in total, including last year when I played it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wasn't sure whether I liked it to begin with, because the first playlist I did, like, you set up a playlist and you just go drive to all the different races, and it was like a Japanese sort of drifty one, so everything was just bright blue and like pink neon, so everything just looked really garish. I was like, I don't want the whole game to be like this. But once I'd finished that one and started a different playlist, it was like more normal colours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it, but I'll tell you what I'm enjoying. Like, I always thought I could only play driving games on a 360 controller or, Xbox controller, because I think the older, like, PS3 and even the PS4 to some extent, the triggers just didn't feel like the Xbox ones, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But with a PS5, that seemed a lot nicer. So I don't know if they've made the triggers slightly differently, but also, Webby, I don't know, when you said you played this, didn't you?
I've played it quite a lot. I really like it. I really rate it.
I take it you played it on Xbox or PC or something?
I've got it on Xbox because it was on an Xbox sale quite a while ago. Picked up dirt cheap and
Only difference is like the controller seems like I mean the PS5 controller, the DualSense, they're putting a lot more effort into games with that than like Xbox because I can remember when the first Xbox One came out and they had Forza 5 and you had like rumble triggers.
Yeah.
So like depending on which side and you'd feel it in the triggers. And that was probably, I don't think nobody else used them at all. Whereas in this one, they're using the DualSense with like the rumble triggers and like the feedback and
the haptics,
so, like, the haptics. So like you're driving along, like you're going for it, and then every time like you can't upshift, it just like it flicked something in the controllers. You could feel the upshift.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Which is nice. So you don't have to like if you're playing manual, so you don't have to look like at what gear you're in and stuff like that. You can just feel it and concentrate more on the road. It's a little bit hard because it keeps raining all the time and it just makes it like really slippery. But I'm enjoying it so far because I had an itch to play some driving games. I've just played so much Horizon. I want something on the big telly on the PlayStation in the living room.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I was playing Gran Turismo 7, but like all Gran Turismo games, I've just got stuck in. They want me to do loads of the licenses to continue. You know, like the campaign or the story or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
And I'm just doing the same license like over and over and over again because I need to get like a 0.10th of a second faster and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
But that's the same sort of stuff that like stopped me playing Gran Turismo 1 and then 3 on PS2. So I was just, I know some people might enjoy that, but I don't want to spend like half an hour, 40 minutes going through like one bit of the license I can't do. And it's stopping me doing any of the other races that I want. Yeah. I just want to just get in, have some races, chill out, and then go. It's just, I know that's, like you say, that's more of a sim game, so that's sort of designed to that, but I don't know, I wish you could just skip the licenses completely and just do the races.
I know. I mean,
get you to come round and do them all for me.
Yeah, I mean, I've done them all, but you know, I think the Crew Motorfest, you know, is kind of underrated because it is just a fun open world experience, and what I like about it as well is it's not just driving; it's got boats and planes as well, and you can just change between all three of the vehicles very quickly with a click of a button.
Because you press the D-pad, but it said I didn't have any of the others yet, so obviously I've got.
Oh, right. You haven't gone far enough then, but
a certain point and unlock.
Yeah.
Whatever, but yeah, I'll see if I get on with that. Because like, if I'm only doing like an hour or so at a time, that might take me ages to unlock everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not nice. It's not hammered me too much. I don't think with all microtransactions and stuff like that yet. I think it's asked me once if I wanted to buy a car pass or something, but that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got my Civic Type R now, which cost me loads of money, so I'm banging around in that, so I'm happy.
Nice. You wait until you unlock the Red Bull F1 car, mate. You'll be well away. But no, it's a good game, man. Especially now you can pick it up super duper cheap as well. So yeah, cool, man. Glad you're enjoying it, Darren.
The update came out this week for Space Marine 2.
Oh, what did that include then?
A brand new operations map where you go up against a new type of Tyrannid. Like a big sort of sand burrowing one.
Okay.
And you got like this big sort of quite expansive map. I'd say it's probably one of their more open maps that you've had. And there's parts of it where you're running across the sand, and you've obviously got to keep to high ground because it just comes for you. Almost like a sort of sand shark, I'd say, or something from Tremors type of a thing. So added that. Also added prestige ranks for all the classes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great. When you prestige, it costs you, I think, 100 gold. You can pick one of a set load of exclusive perks, but it does do the classic prestige by completely resetting your character, so you lose all your perks. So you have to earn and repurchase them again. But each time you do it, because you can do it a total of 4 times, each time you do it, you get like an XP buff. So I think when you do it the first time, you get 10% more XP, second time's 20, and I think it goes like up to 40 or something for the last one.
Okay.
And it doesn't actually take as long. Pardon me. They also added a new sort of like powerful sort of single shot pistol that a couple of the classes can use. The class that I've prestige can't use it, so I haven't tested it out.
Okay.
At the moment. And they also, I think, allowed private PvP lobbies and stuff like that as well in the game if people wanted to do challenges and stuff and get them out of the way.
Oh, okay.
As such, and there's been some balancing as well. But the thing we've all noticed recently, like when I've been playing it with my mate, I was saying like this has to be a bug. So there was a bug, I think it was about a couple of months back. People were calling it the spore mine apocalypse. Where basically, you know, those floating green mines that just basically just like bombard you and home in on you and explode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was spawning far too many of those. Well, they finally sorted that out after admitting it was a bug. And now we've basically got the barbed mine bonanza, as like I call it. So you get the medium Tyranids with the cannons that fire the eggs that latch into the ground, and then like these big mine like vines, come up around them. And they're like firing 3 or 4 of these at a time at the moment in the game. So the entire ground in some cases just gets absolutely caked in them, and it's just like, what is this? Like, I've even seen videos on online basically complaining about the same thing. So hopefully that will get fixed.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the new mission's really fun. I ran it today with a friend. There's just like 2 of us, and like managed to get the gene seed out as well for bonus XP and such. I think I'm coming up to Prestige 2, or starting Prestige 2.
Nice. Wow, mate. You're pumping some time into it then. Yeah.
It's just a fun game. It always just has been. It's like we said before. It looks fantastic. It feels responsive. It's fun. I mean, if these were the sort of developers that we've said, like if these devs like actually said, "Oh, we're making a Gears of War game," I think they could do it.
Yeah.
They definitely got that sort of pedigree behind them.
Yeah.
So yes, they'll still be looking into. Oh, they also added 2 new cosmetic packs. So if you've got the pass for the different cosmetics, it's the Imperial Fists Tactical Champion and the Space Wolves pack, which I believe is a Vanguard outfit exclusive for them, as well as some other armor bits and bobs and coloured chapters and stuff you can select. I mean, we'll have to jump back on it and get at least your missions you need to do done.
Yeah, because I went on with, I can't remember if it was last week or the week before now, I went on with Frosty, and we did a couple more of the operations, but I've only done the 2 with you and the 2 with him, so I've still got a few to do.
Going through them again now, because none of my I've got a class I'm respect, so I'm just getting XP again. So
it's a great game, man. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. I really do.
I mean, it can be a bit of an investment because you are looking at roughly about half hour to do each of the operations.
Yeah. But no, it's a great game, and it's definitely a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a fantastic deal for people to pick up if they haven't got it by, like the middle of this year or something, like with all the content that it's going to have, especially when they add the Horde mode update, which is coming at some point later down the line.
Oh, yeah, they'll probably end up doing a Game of the Year edition or something with everything for 40 quid or something. And
it wouldn't surprise me, and
bargain.
why not?
Yeah, too right.
Although they technically don't need a Game of the Year because all of that stuff is just DLC that's added free anyway. The only things that are paid for is the cosmetic sets, and there's enough normal chapters and stuff in the game anyway. If you're not too bothered about like the cosmetic side of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, the characters I had early on, like look boss.
Yeah.
Anyway, regardless.
Nice.
So yeah, there's that.
Cool, mate.
That's one of the ones on down.
Thank you very much, Lee. Hang on a moment. Right, okay. I'm not going to talk about this for long, but I just wanted to mention I have resubbed to a gaming subscription.
I know which one, probably.
It's not Final Fantasy.
No.
No.
It's the racing one, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm back on. I was resubscribed to iRacing. And I won my first race, like the second one, not my first race. So the first race I did was Mazda MX-5s, which I'm putting on the stream now because I haven't actually transitioned my other replay to video yet, to a recording. And that race, I came second. My first race back, I came second. And I was amazed because this game is a proper, I've talked about it a lot before, so I've not subbed for a while, but it's like, it's not a game, it is a proper sim, and this is what all the F1 drivers use to practice. Real drivers use this to practice, right? So it's very hard, easy to crash, easy to spin out, very realistic damage. You touch a wall, you're out. It's hyper realistic. So, and usually I come about 5th or 6th most times, and so I'll stop subbing, come off for ages, and I've come back, I'm fresh as a daisy. First race back, Mazda MX-5s, I get second. Oh, ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yeah, saying to Mrs. Well, I can't believe it. I've just, I've not played for like 6 months and I'm second, woo, And then, so I come off, because it's quite a commitment even to do one race, because you've got to, you do your bit of practice and you have your qualifying and then you have your race. It takes about an hour. So I come off. So the next day I'm like, there's this new one called BMW M2 series. And I'm like, I'll give it a go because I've not tried that yet. And I've got the track unlocked and it's a free car. So I'm doing practice and I'm spinning out like fuck on the practice because they're rear wheel drive. You got to be very accurate on your throttle pedal, because you have to use the wheel and pedals on this. And so I practiced for about half an hour and I was like, I kind of was getting it down. And then to my surprise, I got into qualifying and I was first in qualifying. I was like, no way, what the fuck? And then I got into the race and I'm shitting it, like first corner. And we'll get into the race, and the first corner, I get overtaken on the first corner, and I'm in second. I'm thinking, that's all right. Anyway, we're going through the race. The end of like the second lap, the guy in front of me completely just spins out and crashes. So I'm in first place. So I'm spending the races are about 12 minutes or so. Very stressful though when you're in first because there's a guy behind me, like quite close behind me for a lot of it. Anyway, to cut a long story short, I won the race. And you think I've been playing iRacing for well over 18 months. That is only the second time I've won a race. And I was so happy because it was a car I'd never used before until that day. And I've been away from the game for about 6 months. So really happy with that. Really, really happy. So, yeah, it's good to be back on it. It's just time. It's just a time thing because I don't like paying for a subscription for something I'm not really using. So I kind of I've subbed for 1 month. I've turned off the auto renew. I'm going to probably hammer it for the month I've got it, and then I'll probably fall off it or something because there's quite a few games coming out that I want to play anyway. But yeah, man, it's great. So a little bit of iRacing. I love a little bit of a racer. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And I do want to just tack on another game because I'm literally I've played it very briefly, but it was mentioned in the Discord. and it's on a hyper discount. It was like £1. It's called 80s Overdrive, and it's basically a clone of Outrun, pretty much, in like a pixel type graphics. And like you choose your music before you start the race, and you get into the race, and it's pretty much Outrun, but it's £1. And it's very heavily inspired by those kind of old school kind of 16-bit arcade type Outrun games. The music on it is awesome. The 80s soundtrack is really, really cool. I've only done one race on it, so this is why I'm only briefly mentioning it. But for £1, I thought I'd give it a go. I was playing it on the Steam Deck, but it's like £1 even on Xbox, so I think it's just discounted on all platforms at the minute. Very awesome retro vibe, a lot of fun. Give it a Bosch. 80s Overdrive. That's me done. Back to Nick.
Yeah, I finally finished Alan Wake 2.
Yay! At last. That took you a time. It took a while, didn't it?
What? No, it only took me about a month.
Oh, was that it?
Well, I think it took about 25 hours in total, which was okay. I think that was stretched out. A lot of me just walking around not knowing where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, that's what they've done. But I did enjoy it, like the majority of it. The saga stuff, like, playing as two characters, like that. But the saga stuff, where she kept going into her headspace in the room, like putting all the stuff on, I didn't like that. I'm not really sure what they were trying to go with, because, you're pinning all this stuff up on the wall. I have no idea where it's supposed to go, so I'm just randomly clicking stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think it slowed the game down, the graphics, really good, like the majority of the time. The only problem is sometimes it just went like too dark, and they put all like weird anomalies and stuff like everywhere that made everything look a little bit blurry at times. But I don't know, I suppose that's more artistic than that. But yeah, but also, which is weird, because you could choose between two characters.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as I played as Alan, I just near enough finished the whole, or almost the entire Alan campaign, until it forced me to go back to Saga, because it didn't it didn't say, "Oh, do a chapter of him, do a chapter of her." You could just near enough complete. I don't know. Did you do that, Webby?
I chopped and changed quite a bit, to be honest.
Like a couple as well. A
Yeah,
couple here and then switched.
Yeah, I just kept playing. So, and by the time I got back to Saga, I was like, I can't remember what I was doing with her. And then I spent like 20 minutes walking in the wrong direction, which, that's what I spent the majority of the game. But yeah, I did enjoy it. And I just like there's a few bits, because obviously it's in the Remedy universe, isn't it? Like, so you've got, even though you've got, it's a different name, but you've got the bloke who plays Alan Wake is in there. I think it's Jesse from Control is in there, and also what's his name from Sean Ashmore, because he was in Quantum Break, which is also another Remedy game. Because he was in like X-Men and stuff, so he's in it as a different. I think he's a different name as well, because I think Xbox own the rights to that, the Quantum Break games.
Right.
Yeah, so it's nice that they all do that stuff, and I don't want to spoil it, but I thought, the ending pretty decent and a little bit ironic as well. And I was like, oh, that happened. And then you watch the final credits and like, oh, it didn't happen. So that's sort of leading up to, I suppose, Control 2, and then like an Alan Wake 3, which I would assume you're going to play as a completely different character, which, I don't know, I think you'll end up playing as Alan Wake's missus.
Probably be out in another 20 years, mate.
Oh, yeah, I mean, 13 years in between games. Plus also that bit you were showing on the Twitch, Webby, where you were like going through different areas, and then you had to go to a clipboard or a blackboard and then change it to a different time in that area. Did any of this make sense to you guys? Like, did it? Because for me, I was like, I have no idea that I was supposed to do that, unless I was told. Because I think I stopped for about a couple of weeks and then went back to it. So maybe they told me right before that.
Well,
bit.
you're very good at that, Nick, when you're gaming, at not reading the instructions and then putting the game down for ages and then forgetting how to play it. So
I've played games for years. I don't need instructions. I'm just going to complain that I don't know what I do when they tell me. But no, it should. I just think it should be a natural thing. You know,
yeah, I don't remember having any issues with it, mate. To be honest,
yeah, I felt a little bit. I don't know what you think, but I did prefer the original better.
oh yeah, I mean it was brand new thing then. You know, I mean I was really into it at the beginning. I had bought all the books and the special edition, and yeah, it was great. You know, it was fresh.
Yeah, like some of the bits they tried, I thought, oh, I can get with that, and some other bits, I was like, it seems like they artificially stretched the game out to make it a bit longer, and I'd have been happy with a 10, 15-hour game rather than a 25-hour game where I'm just walking around, because they do that bit, where everything's on a loop as well.
Yeah,
I think they do that a few times, but I've got the DLC to do, which I'll probably play at some point. It's just because because I think Switch mentioned they asked you during the game, because I thought the little part you played as was it Jesse from Control? I didn't know if that was DLC or not, but then that literally told me, oh, this is DLC. Do you want to start this now? So I was like, right, no, because I just wanted the game to end, to be honest, because I thought if I played the DLC for which I think one of the DLCs about 2 hours and the other one's about 3. But knowing me, if I played through that DLC, I'll probably forget what I was doing in the main game again.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, like especially the part where they start singing and dancing, that was brilliant. I liked that bit.
Cool.
Yep. So that's done.
Awesome, mate. I'm glad you've managed to finish it. It's a great game. Awesome. Before we go on to Darren, just want to say hello to Cutty in the Twitch. Big shout out to Cutty. Glad you're here. He is a regular. Good to see you. Anyway, Darren, it's down to you, mate.
Cool, people actually started earlier, that's all.
Yeah.
I picked up, I think it was like towards the end of last week, Forza Horizon 5 cheap.
On the PlayStation or the Xbox?
It's not out on PlayStation yet. It's out, I think, this coming week or the week after, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was out already.
Also, I'm not too sure if it's coming physically or not.
Oh.
So I was like, well, I've got all the other Horizons bar 2 on the Xbox anyway. So I'll give it a punt. But it's kind of one of those games that's always held its value. Like, it's very rare to see it like dip under like 30 quid or even 40 quid at times.
I think it went cheap on CD
even
keys a
sales.
few times, but not physical.
Yeah. So anyway, I found like a really nice condition version, like reasonably cheap, about 25 quid, and was like, right, I'll give it a punt, because it's one I'd always wanted to sort of pick up at some point. And I must say, so far, I'm very impressed with it.
Yeah.
Like, even on the Series X, in performance mode, which is obviously the better thing, it looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually wondering what is actually different in quality mode, to be honest.
It's 30 FPS and hurt your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, which would be like, why are you doing that? I mean, like, it looks super crisp, it runs superb. Just the little sort of things of, like, speckles of water on your car and stuff as well when you're going through certain areas. The only sort of slight gripes I have with it is it's kind of got more, yo, dude, like, as the series kind of has gone along, and I'm not down with any of that shit. I just want to race and piss about.
Yeah.
They do that in the Crew as well.
It's
I'm driving here, shut up.
It just comes across as like, oh, mate, this is like teeth gritting, like sort of frustration. It's kind of unlikable people while you're trying to set up a festival, and it's like, just let me race. Like, I much preferred this when you went there. I mean, I even got slightly pissed off at the start of the game. You know, where, like, I think they started it in the third one, maybe,
You get dropped off by the helicopter.
Yeah, you get dumped, and then it's like, now you got to drive this shit car through this shit fucking track. Now you quickly skip to another fucking vehicle doing something else somewhere else, because it's not just street racing anymore, it's all this other bollocks. And that was kind of like, just let me start the game, just let me start the festival. And then even before that, it was like one of those, I bitched about it in the group, didn't I, a bit? Those, was it the showcase events, you know, the one where you're like in last place until like the last 2.0 seconds of the race when you miraculously win, because it's just scripted and weird.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And I'm just like, I just don't care for that at all. Like, I know they're usually kind of like a showcase. I remember the only one that I actually thought was kind of interesting was in Forza 4, where you were racing the steam train.
Oh, I was about to say the steam train, because you jump over it at one point, don't you? Yeah.
But yeah, some of the others, it's just kind of there, and they're like, oh, what's going on here? What's going on there? Oh, are they jumping out of planes? And there was that 2 motorbikes. I'm like, I don't give a fucking shit. Just get me to the proper races. I don't care about any of this.
It's just, I think...
You do the races, and then it's like you jump into the car with fuck nut the sixth or whatever, and he babbles bullshit in your ear while you're driving off somewhere to set up the next festival site, and he's dragging you through the jungle, and he's like, oh, you got to take some pictures of some statues. You fucking don't care for any of this. I just want to do races. Can I just select the one to open and then maybe drive there and it's done? I don't care about the characters or the story. Like, none of this matters to me. But it seems to be like the main focus to it.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to do well on the PS5, Darren?
I imagine it will, because for what it is, like, when I'm actually racing and doing all the other bits and bobs, it is just the super fun thing. And it kind of saddens me that the Horizon series is now Forza to me. Like, I haven't bought an actual Forza since probably the 360.
Yeah.
Because I just don't care for them.
That's because they're shit now, that's why.
Well, I don't even know whether it's just that or whether it's the fact that I much prefer the enjoyable fun of a Forza. Because this kind of tickles my ballsack in that test drive manner.
I know what you mean.
If that makes any sense, yeah. So I've got it on now. I was just like, what game can I play while I'm podcasting that's not going to wind me up? So I've just got in my Lamborghini and I'm just driving around uncovering the roads on the map.
Yeah.
And doing the signs and stuff as you come across them and whatnot.
Yeah.
So for that aspect, I've always found it fantastic. It looks great. The location's pretty cool. It's quite diverse in like the different areas. So you got like a big jungly area at the moment. I'm off in like another area which is all seaside, mate. Yeah, you ain't gonna flash me for a race because I'll turn that off, dickhead. Bye. So yeah, it's just a ton of fun in all other aspects apart from like all the dude bro cringy shit.
Yeah. Because it's been out a good few years now as well, you know. It's
I think it's about 3 years old.
Yeah, it's still going strong. I think it's still quite.
And like I say, it's another one of those games that looks as good as a game that could have come out today.
Oh, 100%, mate. Yeah, definitely agree with that.
It's still super populated.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
there's people everywhere. Like apart from when I've been doing some of the Horizon arcades. You know, where you go to the area and then they ask you to do all the different stunts as a group. I think the most I've had in there is like 2 of us.
Yeah, because the online, because I remember when we used to do a lot of gamer nights on Horizon back in the day, and then we're going I'd go into like the online, and obviously the randos would join. It was always mega busy, and the game modes are a lot of fun because you can get the ones where you go from race to race. So you did get like 5 races. I think of something like that. It's been a while, and then like one of them's an actual race, one of them's like taking each other out, tag or capture the flag or something like that. So it's got a lot of fun online modes to play. Which
there's like a hide and seek and stuff. I saw sort of popping up and that on the map and whatnot.
Yeah, it's been ages since I played it.
It's just I haven't really had too many cars that actually feel horrendous, and I will say, The only other downside I can honestly throw at this that kind of is slightly... It's kind of a plus and a negative. It's almost like Game Pass in a game form. You're given... I was given pretty much when I first started the game. It's like, it's 30 cars.
Yeah.
I was like, what? And then I looked in my mailbox and it was like, you played Forza on the 360. Here's a car. You played Forza 2 and 3 and 4. You were a VIP member in this game and that game. And you played, like, even the original Forzas, not even the Horizon games.
Yeah.
And I was getting cars, bonus cars from it and stuff. And at the moment, I think I've got about 60 odd cars. I mean, this game's got like a massive amount of cars. I think it's almost touching 900 cars in total.
Yeah.
Which is like highly impressive. But I guess that they're not all like super tuned of like, this race is how it should race and all the rest of it. It's, it's very more arcadey. When it comes to it, but you kind of don't have that affinity of like buying a car and then just being like, yeah, this is my car, and it's kind of like your pride and joy in driving it around.
Yeah,
because as soon as you get a car and you're into it and you're pissing about, the game will throw another one at you.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if it's not off the wheel spins. I mean, some of the cars I was even getting given to me, I think I've been given like 2 Lamborghinis, a Bugatti.
Yeah.
Some of my favourite cars to drive are the Hoonigans.
Oh, they are wicked. Yeah.
The Escort RS Cosworth Hoonigan. I was rolling around in that for hours. Because it's just great on the road and it's a good off-road car as well.
Yeah.
You do what I do in that, though, when you get
stuff.
given one of those cars and that's all got like weird paint decor on it. I'm like, straight in there? Nope, standard colour, take all that shit off.
No, if it's like it is, I mean, I did make a mistake early on in the game where I didn't actually realise, where some of the cars I was given, because I remember they have actually done this in one of the previous Forzas, maybe even the Horizon 3 or 4, where I was like, I've got this same car again. Well, I best just like remove it from my garage or flog it in the auction house. Not realising it's because it's got a unique design on it. So
right.
it is technically the same car as one of the ones you have, but it's got its own unique design. Like it would be like the Forza competition winning ones and stuff.
Yeah.
That you used to get back in the day. And you only really notice that if you go and select the car and look at it, and then getting the next one down and look at it, and you're like, all right, yeah, it's got a unique paint job, but shit, I didn't realise I sold it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, or just threw it out my garage. And there is a weird glitch at the moment where if you go into the auction house to check on an auction that you've actually set up yourself, the game just black screens on you with the saving logo just eternally spinning in the corner. So you almost have to dashboard it, because I put one of my cars up for sale, didn't realise it had a unique design on it. The auction, no one bid on it anyway, where I was like, thank God for that. And I was trying to claim the car back to check the auction, and it wouldn't have it.
Right.
It was just like, oh no. And then today I noticed, like, hang on, if I highlight that again, can I push Y? And then it was just like, yeah, a retrieve car. I was like, good, yeah, I'll do that then. But I mean, if you like your car games, you must have this anyway.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're already on the Xbox, you've got Game Pass or whatever, like this should definitely be in your collection. If you've got a PS5, be warned that I believe you're going to need a Microsoft account to play this game.
Yeah.
But another reason as well for me picking this up on the sly was knowing that it was coming out soon to PS3, and obviously all of it's going to be cross-server, which is why I imagine the Microsoft account is needed.
Yeah.
So all of them things I was on about that weren't going to be particularly populated, soon they will be, because you're going to get shitloads more people jump into the game.
Yeah. I was just looking at my... So the first 2021, I think this came out, because that's my first achievement.
Wow.
And I've played it for 5 days, 11 hours. Jesus. Sorry, Nick, what were you going to say, mate?
I was just saying, when we have to make a Microsoft account. That's just how that is now. Like when you had some of the Sony games on PC, they want you to make a Sony account, don't they? It's just, I think that's something to do with trophies, I think, or trophies, achievements, and things like that.
Or for
But I mean, that's
crossplay
not
or
going to
whatever.
stop you from enjoying the game if you have to. If you haven't already got one, it takes you like 5 minutes to make an account, and then you could just ignore it forever, can't you?
I'm actually, yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all because I've already got all the accounts. But just watching it now, I'm tempted to try and set up another game night on this actually because it's been a while and it's good. Everyone's got it on Game Pass, right? So,
I mean, it is huge. I was actually kind of pissed because I didn't bother picking up Indiana Jones because of the stupid file size.
Yeah.
And then when I was installing this, I looked on the initial file size for it.
It's huge,
and it wasn't actually too bad. It was like around about 90 something, maybe 100. And I was like, oh, that's not too bad. I can tolerate that. Of course, when I downloaded it and I watched a massive chunk off my hard drive, and I looked and I was like, why is it like 140 plus gig? Why is it 140? And it brought me back to the same annoying bullshit. Do you want to know why it's 145 gig?
All the extras, all the
DLC. Because of shites like the fucking Hot Wheels DLC that I don't want and I'm not going to purchase. So I have to sacrifice like gigs of my hard drive space for some shite I'm never going to use or play.
I will say though, Darren, the Hot Wheels DLC is good. It is good.
It is, but I don't want it. Like the only one that I actually thought that kind of DLC was okay and it kind of fit was Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, and the Hot Wheels they've done a good job on this with the Hot Wheels DLC. To be fair. So I heartedly recommend it.
But yeah, it's that kind of whole aspect of like, even though you don't own it, you're forced to install it because of it being an online game.
Yeah.
A bit like, I suppose, in similar thing with Final Fantasy XIV, you might only have, like, I don't know, the first couple of expansions, but you've got to install all of it.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things I hate about the online gaming aspect.
So, can you remember when they brought out the Fast and the Furious version of Horizon? And it was like near enough a whole nother game, and I think it was like free to play. I mean, those were good. I'm not a lover of the Hot Wheels stuff. That's a bit.
There is a Fast
mate. It's good.
Like DLC for this, actually.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy it anymore. The Fast and the Furious one.
Oh, right.
If you've got it, you can download it. But it was near enough another. I don't know if it was another 1,000 G or something. It was free.
I mean, this is 3,000 gamer score, so I'm imagining it's like 1,000 gamer score of each thing, because you've got obviously the rally expansion, and then the silly Hot Wheels one.
Yeah. Nice, mate. No, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's making me want to play it again.
I've literally, like, since I've started playing it, I think I've put about 6-7 hours into it. It's just kind of one of those, just one more road to explore, just one more bit of what's it.
Yeah.
You've still got, like, the weird thing with the houses, haven't you, where you can buy the different houses in the different locations that actually unlock specific things. Like the one at the moment I've got gives me, like, double Forzathon points. And you got one here just next to me which unlocks, like, a photo mode.
Yeah.
I think it is, which allows you to photograph your collection and things like that. So, yeah, really good game. Should have picked it up when it came out initially. I can't remember why I didn't. I think there was probably quite a lot of stuff out at the time.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't in the mood. It's kind of weird with, like, I think it's the fact that I haven't really played many driving games, and I didn't like the look of what they obviously did with my beloved Test Drive series. So
yeah, Solar Crown. It's still not. I still wouldn't recommend it, even though I've had fun with it. But
I mean, it's dropped in price a fair bit recently.
Well, you know why. But Forza just outshines it in every facet, to be honest.
I mean, it is kind of amusing where, like, some people moan about a lot of Microsoft first-party games being, like, almost like half-baked.
Yeah, I know.
And this is a game series where every time they release one, I'm like, what about this? This is fucking great. Like,
Yeah. I just think the problem with Microsoft games is big shout out to Clarky. Clarky's here. Hello, Clarky. He said, "Have we gone back to 2021?" The problem with Microsoft is when they release the PC versions of these games, they always launch like arse, and I remember having a lot of problems with this when it launched. I've got it on my PC still now, and my boy was playing it on my PC not that long ago, and it actually runs okay now, but they need to sort that out. But like what Clarky's saying, obviously this is a game that came out in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, not even that. I guarantee you, even if I was to stick on Forza 4, like Horizon 4, I'd still think it looks amazing and probably runs really well. And
yeah, that's my favourite one. Plus, I think they gave it a series whatever update for free, so it actually runs in 4K 60, so you don't need to choose between quality and performance. So
yeah, well, I think the problem is though as we've mentioned before. These games that come out 3, 4, 5 years ago, or whatever, they still hold up really well now. They look great. They play great. You know, there's no sequels to them. And games just aren't evolving as much as they used to. So these older games, as we said, like 4 or 5 years old, still feel very fresh.
And a lot of us have obviously, like we've said before, you haven't got enough time to play everything you want to play. And then when you've got that quiet time between releases or whatever, then it's just like, oh, I'll go and grab that I never picked up.
Yeah.
And it's nice that we're in that era where you can pick up something that's like 3, 4, 5, maybe even more years older, and it doesn't feel or look dated.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas you go back a few generations, you'd be like, oh, that looks fugly. You know what I mean? But now it's like, yeah, it looks great, plays great. I'm all good.
Yeah, I just remember they've delisted Horizon 4 though from the store.
I know,
so
yeah.
You can't get it from Game
Why was
Pass.
that?
Because they want you to buy the new one, probably.
I think it's something to do with licenses, either music or cars.
Too. I know Porsche.
Was it again the?
Well, if you own it, you can still re-download it anyway.
Yeah, if you own it, and on CD it still works on disc, but not.
Yeah.
You can't buy it digitally anymore. You can only buy the new one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I might set up a gaming art on this. See if anyone turns up. Clarky might.
All like the weird, silly stuff you win, though.
Oh, what, the stupid outfits and crap, which you don't give a fuck about.
TGLs and fucking stupid emotes and things like that.
Oh, I know, mate. It's so dumb, but the core gameplay is good fun.
Yeah. Like I say, if they could actually turn Horizon into a test drive.
Oh, yeah.
And it could be incredible.
Oh, yeah, if they did it right, 100%, but I don't think they will, because I think that arcadey fun that they've got, they're kind of keeping that formula, aren't they?
I mean, Test Drive wasn't really serious anyway. I'd say that was still a bit more arcadey than the like street race.
Yeah, but what I mean is with Test Drive, it was you had one car for ages because they were so expensive to buy. You had to be houses.
But that was fucking awesome because that was why you actually test drove the cars, because you were parting with your hard-earned money and you didn't want to buy a car that you figured was going to fishtail everywhere, like when you was on corners and that.
Yeah.
Feel like you've made a big mistake.
Yeah.
It's one of the only games I can actually ever remember, like, saving up, like, for days on end to get a certain vehicle and then test driving it and thinking, yes, this is the one, and feeling proper proud.
Yeah.
Like, EA would have been like, that's what we wanted with Darth Vader, and was it the sense of accomplishment? It's like, we visited the Star Wars Battlefield and that.
Yeah.
Super long unlocks and that, but, yeah.
Cool. Right, let's let's move on then. Last driving game from me. Since we're on driving games, talk about driving games. This is the ultimate driving experience, guys, and I recommend if you have a PC, you should play this. American Truck Simulator. Fucking loving it, mate. I don't know why I'm loving it. It's just something about it that's just I'm just playing it mainly on my Steam Deck, just driving along, listening to some music. The weird thing is, right, it has an option in the audio settings. It has a list of real life radio stations that you can just turn on in the game on your truck.
I imagine it's that internet radio, is it?
Yeah. Like, but actual proper stations, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is absolutely hilarious. I'm just like listening to some music, driving down the highway, my truck. The game is quite deep though, because it isn't just driving. You can you run your own trucking business. I've got 4 drivers trucking in my business. I had to buy them all a truck each, and I customized all the trucks. And the customization's quite deep, especially if you download the workshop mods. I've got like Pac-Man dangly things and Star Wars characters sitting in the passenger seats and silly things like that, which is quite cool. I've got another mod for real life cars, real buildings. There's like McDonald's and the real gas stations, stuff like that. There's lots of Teslas driving around, funnily enough. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I don't know what it is like, because obviously I play it on my PC as well, and it looks great. But I don't know, because it runs so well on the Steam Deck as well. I'm just kind of like, yeah, just chilling. Can just sit there for hours. I've been sitting on my Steam Deck for hours on over just trucking. And funnily enough, I was talking about this in a Discord, and there's a guy in our Discord called Jono, and he's an actual truck driver in the UK. And
nice.
Yeah, and he actually runs his own YouTube channel called Trucking Around with Jono. And that's him there. I've just got him on the stream at the minute. And it's him just driving around the UK in his truck and talking about it and that. So he was chatting about that, and he was saying that he likes American truck sim because he drives the Euro ones for real. So that's pretty fascinating.
I have watched some of the American truckers before, because some of them have a lot of videos up showing you kind of the entertainment setups that they've got in their cabs.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have to sleep in them overnight and all of that kind. Go to the proper truck stops and rest ups and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like a bloke who had his PS5, I think, set up in there with a lot of TV and everything.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, so I just wanted to give him a shout out. So here's a Discord. I did take a couple of pictures. So that's one of my cats. So that's my truck in there. So I've got like a baseball on my wheel. I've got the DeLorean in there, Red Bull can, the cat. I've got a little cat in my seat. And in the back, I've got like some Doritos and some snacks and a laptop. So it's just really, you can really deck them out how just how you want. Just that customization is really cool, and you can see like I'm hauling a UPS trailer there. And it's all like it is massive. Like to drive from state to state, it actually takes fucking ages, absolutely ages. And they've got so much DLC for this for more states, and I don't know what it is. It's just very, very chill. It really is a chill game, because I mainly play it in the cab. And you can use your right thumbstick to look around the cab. And then, the Xbox controller works really well with it. And that's kind of how I play it on the PC. And I'm obviously on my Steam Deck with the controller. But there is people that you can actually get. So, you get steering wheels for like racing games and that. There is actually a trucking version as well. So, Moza are one of the big wheel bundles, wheels now, but they've got, if I can find it, a trucking bundle, and it has like a trucking wheel, and it has it at, like, puts it at the angle as like a thing to put it at the angle like a truck wheel would be as well. So it's actually quite, this, like, you'd think like these simulators wouldn't be very not many people would be playing them. They're mega popular. It's so bizarre to me. I like why it's so addictive, but I think it's just that, not just the driving, as I say. I mean, the driving's fun because it's all, you have your indicators and all that real world stuff. But it's also just, running your company, earning the money, hiring more drivers, expanding your garage and stuff like that. It's just very chill once you're on the open road listening to some music. And I do vastly prefer it to Euro Truck Sim, purely because it's just bigger open roads and it's just less faff, if that makes sense, because you know what the roads are like in Europe, very narrow, very twisty turny, whereas this is just, you chill, you put your cruise control on and you just go, and it's just something very relaxing about American Truck Sim for me. So yeah, it's great. And I just love the customization of the trucks. You can customize loads of the outside, add different wheels, different colors. You can even customize the trailers, obviously customize the full inside of your cab, especially if you have the mods, loads of wacky stuff. It's just a fun little game. So, yeah. American Truck Sim. That's all I can really say about it, really. I'm loving it. Yeah. Cool. Back to Nick.
Yeah, I played another game this weekend because I went outside and I played games in an arcade.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, only a couple. And yeah, because I haven't played one of these for a long while. It was House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn.
Oh, okay.
Which was fun, like a two-player thing. Obviously, it's an arcade machine, but that's a lot bigger than what they had before. Because you actually go and sit down on a little chair behind these curtains, so you're sort of encased a bit. And obviously, there's two guns. They're kind of like machine guns. But the only difference is, I mean, it's still House of the Dead, so it plays exactly how you'd think. But you select whatever gun you want at the start.
Oh, okay.
So you could have a machine gun or a shotgun, and then you could pick some more up later. But the other guns, you can run out of bullets, if you see what I mean. But the standard one, you just keep it. And yeah, I mean, it's more House of the Dead. It gave you a fair amount for your money, because some of these games, I remember House of the Dead, because they brought them out on Dreamcast, which I've still got.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't got a TV to play it. But it was known that, the arcade machines were a lot harder, because obviously they want you to just keep putting the money in. Whereas, on Dreamcast, you could pretty much complete the game on one credit, which I don't think that's possible in the arcade, unless you were just that good. But the difference with this is, I don't know if you have played this, Webby, or one of them, but it's 4D. So you both sit down on a chair, and then when you get hit, the whole chair vibrates, and then there's all flashing red lights in your face.
Oh, and, weird.
Yeah, and also you sit there, and then you get blowed on. They've got these fans, when you get to a certain area. So they've got these little high pressured fans, so it's just blowing air in your face and stuff like that as well.
Oh, nice! That sounds pretty funky.
Yeah, it's good that they've actually tried. To do that. But yeah, I mean, we only had a few quid each, and I spent maybe 15, 20 minutes. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
So I know some games I've played, you put the money in, and you're lucky to get a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. I do miss arcades, because, like I said, the majority of them are just 2p machines and the teddy grabber machines. So I was like, oh. We saw one, and then we saw someone else play. They had a Mario Kart game, a Jeep or whatever. But there was
I've played that with my daughter.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the Mario Kart game from Switch on there slightly, but yeah. So we thought I want to play that, but there was loads of people playing it. So when we got back we played it on the Switch in the living room.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Yeah, which is fun. I mean, it looks a little bit blurry on my 65-inch TV on the Switch. But I think, with Nintendo games, once you're playing it for, a minute, you just don't really care about the graphics too much, because it's the gameplay.
Yeah.
1080p, isn't it? The Switch. So
yeah, it just. But then, like I said, on the handheld, you don't really notice it, and it looks really still. The Switch one still looks really good in your hands, doesn't it? I don't think it looks terrible.
I think it's still it's a good little console,
Yeah, and then
I still like the look of the Wii U, outside of the tablet, mind.
Yeah, so I mean, but that's the first. I think it's one of the first times I've had it on the big 65-inch TV. I normally have it on like the 40-inch one in the gaming room. But yeah, I mean that's okay. It's Mario Kart, and you can't. I don't think they're going to change. Well, obviously Mario Kart World, we'll see. But yeah, it's fun. That's pretty much me done.
Cool. Thank you very much. Anything else from you, Darren?
Oh, yeah, a couple of things. Subside, I've just been dicking around on it mainly, not actually doing too much more. Just kind of looking for the bits I'm missing, like the coins and stuff on some of the tracks and such.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's that PSVR game, isn't it? The underwater one.
Diving one, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
There was also a update this week for First Descendant, which added Ultimate Blair.
Okay, yeah.
Who's obviously another one of the characters that's been given an ultimate option. Getting him was super easy since they've made the changes to I can't remember what they're bloody called, but you get the amorphous materials that you take to things, don't you? And then you roll for the percentage chances. Well, usually the Ultimate Descendant pieces have the lowest chance, that you can get certain items that basically reverse the percentages.
Right.
So you can make it like a common drop. So I basically got all of his pieces in. Like I could have got them all done in one afternoon, but I did it like 3 of them one afternoon, and then the next one the following morning when I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
That was sort of easy enough. They've also made other changes in the fact that you used to have to use these certain items that you'd farmed from like reactor areas to basically open up areas that allow you to use those amorphous materials. I can't remember the name of the actual bloody things. I think there might be some sort of reactor, but they've scrapped that currency completely. So you can just go to them and open them without needing to grind some other bullshit to do it. So it makes things a lot easier and less tedious if you don't get what you want, because you're not having to grind for 2 different things to access it. They've also allowed people to increase the percentage values of the secondary rolls on your reactors and your modules. So you can actually like max out the value of the part as well.
Okay.
Which is good, but you've still got to get the RNG on actually getting the parts with good things on them anyway. So you might get like a piece with like increased HP, increased shield, and you're like, yeah, that's great. And then the next thing's like more gold, and you're like, I don't need gold, don't care. I'd rather have increased like elemental defense or something. So you can still keep sort of. It's not like they've just given you everything out the gate. There is still like elements of randomness to it, or things to actually work towards. So it's all good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else per se. I'm sure there was like 1 or 2 things, but I can't actually entirely remember off the top of my head. So I'll pass it back over to you.
All right. Okay, I've played a few more. I've played 3 more games, so just interrupt me, Darren, if you remember your other one. Right, so my most played game of the week has been Dave the Diver. Still playing on with that. I am about 14 hours in now, and I'm on chapter 5. I've still not got to the Ichiban DLC yet, which I'm not sure when that appears. I need to look at that. I need to have a look. But this game is just surprising me more and more. It really is. Like I mentioned last week, I was expecting a game where I was literally just diving in the water, catching fish, and then running the sushi bar in the evening, and that's kind of a mini game itself, serving the people food and drinks. It's actually like there is a full-on story to this game, and it gets more intriguing the more chapters you get into the game. I'm loving this game. Perfect for the Steam Deck handheld. So basically, catching the fish and running the sushi bar earns you money. You can upgrade your diving suit, guns and stuff like that, your spear and things, which is good. But there's actually, like, in the game itself as well, apart from catching the fish, there's different ways of catching the fish. The one way is your spear. There is fish that attack you. You can use your guns, but the best, like, to get... but depending on how you kill or capture the fish is their star rating, and the highest star rating is how tasty they are. So the best way is to, like, have a net. You've got, like, a net gun and you catch them alive. But then obviously they get bigger the later on you get in the game as well, and there's different various ways. I'm not going to spoil it of bringing those back, because you can... So basically, it's multiple games in one, because there's not just catching the fish and that. You actually have a fish farm. So you have, like, a part of the game. So if you catch live fish, you can actually breed them in this fish farm place. And then you can actually, like, use those fish to sustain the restaurant for the evening. So you don't have to keep on catching fish all the time. You can actually concentrate on the other things, the main quest line, shall we say. That's cool. So basically, and you got lots of different, like, things in the fish farm for the depths, but then they get full, so you can either expand them, sell fish for money, or, as I say, supply your sushi restaurant with the fish. But also, you don't just have a fish farm. Later on in the game as well, you actually unlock a farm, an actual farm. So it turns into a bit like Stardew Valley, where you actually have a fully fledged farm where you're growing rice, tomatoes, all the veg in this farm. And you got to go to the farm every day and water your plants and dig them up when they're ready and pull out the weeds and stuff like that. So there's multiple games in one. There's actually full-fledged boss battles in the game as well, which are quite interesting. But yeah, there's actually, for a pixely type game, it's actually very, very deep with the story, as I say, and the different gameplay mechanics within the game. I don't want to spoil it too much, but there's like rhythm games in there. There's obviously there's cooking, there's giving people the food, pouring drinks, there's catching the fish in different ways. There's a full-on story with other things going on that I don't want to spoil. There's exploration, there's a bit of stealth in there. There's lots of different games in one. I'm loving this game. Absolutely loving it. I'm so glad I picked it up on Steam, though, so I can play it handheld on the Steam Deck. I know it's on PlayStation Plus, and I know Peebs has actually completed it and he really enjoyed it. So I might get him to talk about it. He has threatened to come on next week. So
that's threatened.
Yeah, so if he does, we're going to talk about it a little bit with him, and because he loved it. So no, Dave the Diver is a great game, and it really makes me want to pick up another game by the same people called Dredge. However, I have seen that Dredge has come into Game Pass in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to wait.
Nice.
I'm going to wait to just.
That's the other thing they did the crossover with, isn't it? First, before the Ichiban, and actually, no, didn't they do one with like Godzilla or something as well?
I did see. I think I read something about that. Yeah. But no, it's a great game, man. It's really shocked me how much I'm enjoying this game, because I remember when it came out, and when you glance at games and you think, yeah, it looks all right, and you read about the basic gameplay mechanics, you think, yeah, I don't know. But then
those classic, that looks really good, but maybe not for me.
Yeah, but mate, I'm hooked on it. I think it's great. Like, I was playing it today, just sitting on the sofa. The kids were playing Minecraft on the telly, so I was like, I just want to chill. I was playing the Steam Deck. Dave the Diver, just grinding out some Dave the Diver, and I'm just digging it, man. It's a fantastic game, and I highly recommend it to as many people as possible. Check this game out. It's really, really good. So, yeah. The last couple of games I've played then, one of them's an old game, but one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. And I've been playing this on my Steam Deck, and it looks amazing. Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh my God. And I know this game is quite old now.
2018 or something like that.
But man, this game, even now, like, looks so good. I just don't know what, if anything, can really get to this depth of just a massive open world, the amount of things you can do, the really good story. But it's just like, even on the Steam Deck, a little handheld machine, it just looks gorgeous and it runs very smooth. And I've just been like, so like today yesterday I was playing it, and I was doing a bear hunt mission, like the main mission, only on chapter 2, and it was just so enjoyable. I was just like grinning because it's just like, wow, this looks so amazing. And I was thinking, as I was playing it, I was thinking to myself, why aren't modern games that have come out since then up to this standard of just graphical integrity, just like the voice acting?
I think it's generally down to the fact that Rockstar have basically earned the right to take as long as they need to put out a game.
Yeah, maybe you're
and
right.
I think they're one of the only developers that could actually do that, because, like, obviously, Take-Two, is it Interactive? Are they the ones who own them, or is it 2K?
Take-Two.
Yeah, they obviously be like, no, do what you need to do. Like, they know what it's obviously going to be like, and to be honest, they've got this another little game called GTA 5 that kind of is their get out of jail free card for a lot of things for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree, but no, it's
so I think having something like that gives them a lot of pull.
Yeah, but no, I think it just looks great. And then the reason I wanted to play this again is because I'm kind of into my fishing, just for chilling at the minute, and this is actually recommended as one of the best fishing games on the Steam Deck, funnily enough. So I haven't unlocked it yet, but I'm getting there because it's at the end of chapter 2, apparently. But I just wanted to say that it just... Obviously, it looks and runs great on a console and the PC, but it just shocks me just how well it looks on the Steam Deck. A little handheld, like... It just it blows my mind to think that such a vast game like this, I can just play on a little handheld console, little handheld machine, and just go into that world with great graphical fidelity and gameplay physics. It's mad, like, where we are in technology, man. It's just nuts. It really, really is.
Must kill the battery on the Steam Deck, though.
Well, I have it plugged in all the time, mate. I think... If I don't have it plugged in, I think I'd be lucky to last an hour running this, to be honest. But as I say, like, at home, it's always plugged in when I'm playing it anyway. So it's not really an issue. But yeah, it's one of the greatest games ever made, I think, is Red Dead 2. And to play on that handheld is just phenomenal. It really, really is. So yeah. And the last game I wanted to mention... I've been playing I've been playing all of it on my PC. I did download it on my Xbox, but it just looks way better on the PC. Is Call of the Wild: The Angler. So I'm still playing this. I don't know what it is about it. It's just a very chill game. As I mentioned last week, it's basically, I think the first map area is the same map area from the Hunter Call of the Wild, the big American park, like the big wilderness.
Are these like the buck shooting games that used to be on like the 360 back in the day? Wasn't it Cabela's or something? That rings a bell, like Cabela's something hunting.
I'm not sure.
To get like one or two of them a year.
Yeah, so this is kind of similar, but obviously this is just the fishing version, so... But as I mentioned last week, it's a huge open world environment, and there's if you buy the DLC, there's DLCs for more big open areas, but I'm tight. I've not bought them. So I've just got the one American area and the big national park. But it's fucking massive, and you can just go anywhere. You don't even have to go fishing. You could just go for a stroll, look at the flowers. You could even like go for a drive. You can get like a little Jeep. You can hire boats and just go on the big lakes. You know, I've spent hours just walking around and just because like in Assassin's Creed you've got the towers. In this you've got the lookout hut things, and you can get all of them, and then it unlocks. Well, it doesn't unlock, it just shows you like points of interest on the map for you to go to. So I've been doing that, and it's just very relaxing. And then I'll be like, I fancy fishing. I'll go to a lake, like I'll get a boat and go into the middle of a lake and just do some fishing. I've even been fishing with random people online. Like this guy, I was standing by the lake fishing, and then this guy just pulls up in front of me on a boat. And I was thinking, oh, he obviously wants me to get in. So I got in the boat, and then we went off middle of the lake, and we were fishing together for about an hour.
Did he give you some Werther's originals?
It's just, but it's weird. Like, these are the sort of games that I like. Same with American Truck Sim. Like, I wouldn't have even thought of playing like a few years ago. I would have thought, oh, they're for sad fucks. But I'm loving them. Like, I just, like, I don't know if it's my age or what, but I sometimes I don't want to play a shooter or get stressed or have any adrenaline pumping. Sometimes I just want to chill. And these,
and enjoy yourself, yeah.
Yeah, in these games, I'm literally...
experience.
Yeah, like I'll just be sitting here for an hour just fishing, and I'll catch a few fish, and I'll just be listening to the ambiance of the sounds of the waves and the creatures in the background, or I'll chuck on a little podcast or something, on my phone while I'm doing it, and it's just relaxing, mate. I can just feel myself just zenning out when I'm kind of playing these games, and yeah, it's just it's very cool. And so it's on Game Pass, it's on Xbox, and PC, and I'm just enjoying it. There's been some criticism on it because the devs aren't doing any more updates to the game. They've moved on to a new Hunter game, apparently, so people are upset there's not going to be any more updates to it. But it's a big game, and devs have got to move on at some point, right? So, and what's quite interesting is I've been playing it. My boy's been like quite interested. He'll sit and watch me play, and he'll be like, "Oh, Daddy, can we try the hot dog on the bait, on the hook next time, and see if we catch a fish with that?" And it's just quite funny, and it does get quite in depth. You've got different types of rods, different reels, different hook sizes, different bait, all catching different fish, and it's just very, very relaxing, Yeah. No stress games. It's very nice. And I haven't bought this game, but I did notice today. Well, I actually noticed it the other day that it's a game I might pick up, and don't take the piss. But it's called Hello Kitty Island Adventures.
What was this mentioned on? Was this mentioned on South Park? Oh, yeah, so, I'm sure you brought this up, yeah.
So it started off as a South Park meme many years ago. But Butters, it's on that World of Warcraft episode. So Butters was playing, like everyone was playing World of Warcraft, and Butters was playing Hello Kitty Island Adventures. And it's now a real thing. And
is it officially licensed by the Hello Kitty people, or is this?
It's a proper game. Yeah, it's on at the minute. It's only on Switch and Steam, but it is coming to PlayStation soon as well. And it is basically a Animal Crossing ripoff. So think of Animal Crossing with Hello Kitty, and you'll understand what this game is. It's got blazing reviews on Steam, absolutely amazing reviews. And I showed the trailer to my daughter today, and she's like, "Oh, Daddy, I really want to play it." And I'm like, good excuse. So you might see me playing it in the future. I don't know, but yeah, I just wanted to mention it because it looks very cute and fun. That's all I've played. And if that's all you guys have played, shall we get to the questions and the news?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. Okay, so What's My Tag asks, in honour of WrestleMania, what's your favourite wrestling game of all time? Nick, you must have a favourite wrestling game.
Ooh, that'll upset a few people because there's a lot of that, I suppose. Probably SmackDown Here Comes the Pain on PS2.
I've never heard of that one.
Well, that's one of the best PS2 ones because there was a good few on the PS2, like 2 or 3. They got some more later, like the SmackDown versus Raw games, but to be honest, they got a bit like FIFA. There was near enough every year was the same one.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean, they just changed the people and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people always argument is between, the SmackDown games on PS2 and then the N64 ones.
Yeah, there was some on I can't remember the one it was. There was one on the N64 that I remember really liking that I played with my mates all the time. Had like the Creator Wrestler and all of that.
Yeah,
like
probably
choose
No
your
Mercy.
entrance.
I mean, there was a couple, but I think No Mercy's like one of the best ones, and things like that. But I don't know. I never really played the N64 stuff, but that always tends to be. I mean, a few years ago, before was it before 2K took over, or they released an absolute trash one. I don't know if you remember, Webby, where they lost the license to use the engine that they'd been using.
Right.
Was that Ukes or someone else?
Yeah, I think it was Ukes.
Oh,
They went off and made another game. I think they went off and made the latest AEW game, which is fucking shit. Like, really bad. There's, like, nothing to it. I think it was just really quickly, even though it was delayed a long time, it was really quickly made. But they went back and used the PS2 engine on, like, a PS4 and 5 game.
Oh, wow.
That's how bad, and that was, like, and I think that's when they changed it, and I thought that made good. But some of those games, eventually, they got too technical and less fun.
Yeah.
I remember some of the 360 ones I played, and I thought, oh, this isn't too bad. And then the next one, they just kept countering everything. Like, every time you did a move, even on, like, easy mode, like I always tend to play on. And then you would counter them, and they'd counter your counter with a counter of their own. I just think, oh, this isn't fun. Because, you don't want to always think that that the computer's cheating, because technically they know what buttons you're pressing, don't they? So if they know as your input and they can press the buttons of their, the AI can counter you easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the newest ones come out. I've sort of stayed away for a while because, like, I think a lot like fighting games, like all the characters just seem to always, the ones I want always seem to be DLC.
Yeah, and I think the problem is as well, I tried to play WWE 2K24 and I just couldn't even get past the first match on that mode. I mentioned it before, like the history mode where you have to like win as the characters, and it was too hard. Whereas I remember playing like the N64 one. I can't remember which one it was, but I used to play around my mates all the time and we had a blast on it. It was just fun. Simple controls, fun, and I do agree with you 100%, Nick. Too technical now, too many buttons, too many things to do,
Yeah, game kind of simmy.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And then they had, I remember a few years ago, it was fun, like a great idea. I think similar to they had like Road to WrestleMania, whereas you started like Monday Night Raw, which is tonight, and then you had a whole year starting as a rookie to like headline WrestleMania and things like that.
Yeah.
So it was like story mode. And I think they also had a few, like Football Manager. They had manager modes, like GM mode. I think they did add a lot of stuff to it, but I think the actual wrestling wasn't that fun.
Yeah.
For me, anyway. Like I said, I haven't really played anything since late three. I think SmackDown 2008 was the last one I played properly, and that annoyed me. I think I dabbled in a few on Xbox, or I think maybe 13. And that's just the same. I was like, I can't keep getting countered constantly.
Yeah. I mean, I've got really fond memories of WWF Warzone on the PS1. Fucking loved that game. Yeah, I think the PS1 wrestling games were great because you had the SmackDown games on the PS1. They were all fun. Say Warzone. And then, as I say, there was an arcadey one as well on the 360.
Like Fire.
Are you on about the one where you
was it Battlegrounds?
Like the mini kind of cutie versions of the characters?
I think it was Battlegrounds. Yeah. That was bloody awesome, that was. Yeah, and it was just pure arcade fun and they had all big heads and all that. Yeah, that
I
was
still remember
really
the one
good.
on the Super Nintendo. I can't remember what it was called, but it had like Doink the Clown in it and stuff.
Jesus.
And, like Mr.
I think that was
Perfect,
just WrestleMania or something.
Razor Ramon.
The arcade game. That was good, but that was like say very old.
Oh, the one with Legion of Doom and stuff.
Yeah, I think that was just called WrestleMania.
Possibly, yeah. Gorilla Press. Like, I always remember him shouting it out. And you'd have like the little animated cutscene of like Mean Gene interviewing the different wrestlers and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Battlegrounds. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they did a few like other ones. I remember that one. That was okay. I think that one was built like a mobile game, even though you paid for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it had like a battle pass built into it and things like that. And I think I got bored of that extremely quickly. I think they had a Legends of Wrestling as well, which was very. I think that was one of the last. Who was it that I said that they're coming back with? Like Acclaim. I think it was one of their last games as well.
Okay.
Yeah, Legends of Wrestling. They had some of those like sort of more cartoony characters and stuff.
Okay.
I think I had that as well.
Cool.
I mean, to be fair, it just looks shit graphics. But it looks like Ready to Rumble, doesn't it?
Looks shite, mate. Yeah. Some answers in the Discord from that question was Sly says SmackDown versus Raw 2005. What tags was WCW versus the World on the PS1. And St. Adam says WCW versus NWO Orange. No?
No. Just the WWE stuff, I think. I might have played some of them, to be honest. Like, my mind's a bit foggy and nosy.
It's been a long time.
WCW ones as well. I think one on N64 was passable. I think it was near enough the same game.
Okay.
But yeah, they had some rubbish ones on there as well.
Yeah. Cool. All right. That was literally the only question. So let's get to the news. Been a little bit of news this week. I think the biggest news has been that, Oblivion remaster / remake. There's going to be a stream about it tomorrow.
Well, it'll be done by the time this recording's done, isn't it? Really,
yeah.
All the is out.
Yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow at 4 p.m. British summertime. So, patrons might have listened to this by now, but obviously actually no, because it's Tuesday tomorrow, so the podcast is going to be out tomorrow morning. So, Oblivion remaster / remake is coming out at some point. There was lots of rumours that it was actually going to come out today. They've been squashed. But there's going to be an announcement about it tomorrow. And I think the hand might be being forced by all these leaks and rumours, to be honest.
Have you seen the leaks and all the pictures and stuff, Webby?
I saw one. They're none are on YouTube, though, are they? I did see one. I can't remember if that went in the Discord or not. I
think it was just pictures. I don't think there's any videos leaked, but I think a few people have complained because they were like, "Oh, this area is like brown, and where we were in the last area, it was all trees." And I'm like, "All right, well." Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to see. I mean, as you ain't got if it's part of Game Pass, that's not too bad. They just need to fix that older like compass system, like just give you what Skyrim had. It was sometimes harder to navigate. If you see what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I found some pictures on X. It looks like a full remake if it's true. Some of the pictures I'm seeing. Yeah, awesome.
Probably replace Patrick Stewart's voice with someone else.
Be interesting to see tomorrow that stream at 4 p.m. So I'm going to make sure I'm watching that live.
I don't know if they would have changed Patrick Stewart's voice, because surely they'd have just taken a lot of the original audio files and just redone them.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying, like, do they have to pay him again? Do you see what I mean? I'm just saying, I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. I think nowadays, because we've now entered the realm of more and more games getting re-released years down the line, there's probably stuff like that written into their contracts.
Possibly. I mean, there
that's
weren't
been a
many
huge
remakes
issue
back
with,
then, were they?
Yeah, there's been a huge issue with music licenses, hasn't it? You can't.
Yeah, I know music's always.
Yeah.
I think music's like ever evolving because people keep buy it. Like other people own music that you wouldn't think that like Michael Jackson's estate owns loads of other music of other artists because they bought the rights to it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the Beatles for one.
Yeah, things like the studios screwed over a lot of the artists, and they signed contracts that they probably shouldn't have signed, but then they paid off agents that said the contracts were great. So a lot of these people out there don't own the rights to even their own music. I think that's really quite common. So like, whereas if you'd have signed, a deal with them back then, those people don't own the rights to those music anymore. Someone else owned the rights. So,
yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'd be nice if he's still in it, unless he doesn't want to be in it. I don't see why he wouldn't want some extra money for no work.
Well, I'm going to move on to another bit of news. PlayStation 5 prices increased. I thought prices for consoles are going to go down as the generations go on.
Inflation, Webby, the argument to end all argument. It's just inflation, so deal with it.
So the PS5 digital edition in the UK has gone up by £40. So it's now 430 quid for the digital edition of the PS5.
But did you hear the disc drive add-ons gone down
to 70 quid from 100? So
yeah, so sort of 30, 40 quid, whatever.
30 quid, yeah.
It just seems like people weren't I heard people are not buying the Pro at all.
Who's got spare 750 odd quid for a console? It's
I don't know. In
ridiculous.
Their head, I think they don't want to reduce the price of the Pro console. So I think that what they've done is they've reduced the disc drive price, but moved that onto the basic PS4, the PS5.
Yeah, it's ridiculous though, isn't it?
To be honest, mate, it's just greed with these companies. It's just, and they just get a lot of the, social media people, like IGN and all that lot to just keep going on about bollocks just so they can just keep upping the prices. I mean, we know. I mean, I think it was Austin Evans when he used to do a few teardowns of like the newer PlayStation consoles when he said, "Oh well, this has made it cheaper, this has made it cheaper, and blah 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 blah, and this is worse." And they just went at him so bad, like with death threats and stuff like that. But we know these consoles, like they make the components after a certain amount of time. They make them cheaper and smaller to get. So, I mean, didn't it go up to like 500 and something quid at one point, the PS5?
I don't recall that, but I just think it's a piss
during COVID.
Maybe, yeah. But,
I got mine 2022, I think, Christmas, and that was like £560 with God of War digital.
I just think they're taking the piss with these prices now. I think this point on a console generation, you usually get heavy discounts on the hardware, but prices going up, mate. I just think it's insane. I really do.
Yeah, I would. Like I said to you before when we were talking about the Switch, when we talked about that, and I said PlayStation 5 should like do a price cut to like $350 to undercut the Switch too. of 50 quid because, you know, the Switch 2 or the Switch and Nintendo have always been like the cheaper second console or the first console you'll get for your kids. Whereas that, so obviously Sony looked at that and thought, you know what? Nope, put the price up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's just the digital, so I don't know.
Yeah. I can't remember if we talked about this last week or not, but obviously it was a Patreon episode, so we're going to talk about it very briefly again. If we did talk about it last week, my memory is a blur. Marathon reveal. I can't remember when that was, but there's been more gameplay out anyway. A lot more feedback from people online. There is a closed alpha coming at some point. I do thank you to Turner from the Discord for sending me an invite code. Hopefully I'll get picked because I really want to talk about it on the podcast. But your thoughts, guys, on watching the gameplay footage, if you've seen any of it? I mean, it's like I don't have a good an initial impression of this.
It's not my type of game, like flat out, like a PvP extraction shooter. It's like nah.
It's an arcadey version of Tarkov, isn't it?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, a lot of people were sort of saying it doesn't particularly look appealing in the design stage. I think the design kind of thing's fine for what they're going for. You obviously don't just want to copy and paste something, and it does kind of give it its own identity in a way.
Yeah.
But you've also got to think like that might be fine for a free to play, but this is a game they're actually charging sort of like AA price for.
Yeah.
And it being an online only sort of battle pass season based sort of PvP competitive game. I don't know. Like it's hard to tell how it's going to go with it, to be fair.
Yeah, for sure.
But for myself, like I'm just not into those kind of games anyway, so.
Yeah, it's a shame because Bungie used, you know, coming from Halo series, obviously Bungie are just name only now because pretty much all the devs from the original Bungie have left now anyway. But it just makes me sad, like they've gone from the Halo games to Destiny, which I enjoyed to a point, but a massive step down from Halo, and now to this, which just looks, I mean, a lot of places online are comparing it to Concord, which is not a great comparison to have for your game. I mean, I'd love to be proven, but I just see it flopping big time. That's why I just really want to play it just to see if I'm right or wrong. But the aesthetics do not appeal to me at all. The actual gameplay, that extraction type shooter, I mean, it's been done to death now. So many games have done it now, and they haven't done well, you know, and they've been free to play. Like the free to play ones on PC have failed miserably, you know, with very low player bases. So this being a paid for game, I just don't see it doing very, very well at all.
I did see a video today saying that apparently the developers have been listening to feedback and stuff, but that could be anything because as far as I remember, they had a load of streamers and other people sort of playing the game in some sort of alpha beta kind of state anyway, didn't they? So they could have just been listening to the feedback on that.
Yeah.
On the gameplay side.
Yeah.
But it might be worth maybe keeping it in the oven a little bit longer just to try and get a bit more of a read, because you don't want Sony to do another, because Sony obviously own Bungie, don't they, themselves?
Yeah.
So you don't want Sony to come out with another like, oh shit, we've got Concord 2.0, and I think that might be one of the reasons why people are maybe giving it that tag as well.
Yeah.
Because it's very much in the same situation. I mean, was this a game that was kind of kick-started by Sony doing their sort of like live service sort of lunge that they did a few years back that we all heard was coming?
No, yeah, and they cancelled all the other games, didn't they?
Yeah, and the funny thing is if you listened, you'd have heard an audible from the whole fucking gaming community.
Yeah.
But the business knows best, apparently, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So it's like they should have realised that wasn't what people actually wanted.
Yeah.
Like, yes, a few companies will get away with it. You're not going to have your own version of Fortnite and stuff, but technically Fortnite is what Epic is. If it wasn't for Fortnite, you wouldn't have an Epic store or the Unreal Engine and all that lot through Epic as well. Similar with Steam. Obviously, Steam used to make some of the biggest games on the market.
Yeah.
Which gave them a lot of money to then set up and then make Steam what it is, and it wouldn't exist without those games initially.
Yeah. It makes you wonder why these companies keep releasing the same style of games over and over and over again, to the point where I don't think it looks like Concord, this game. It's just another one of, haven't we already had this? Why do we want this? I mean, we were talking about it earlier. Why has no one made a decent free-to-play driving game? If you have a battle pass or whatever you pay for, you do it free, and you play the game and you unlock cars. Just do something. Not every game has to be a shooting game, does it?
No.
Well, that's it. And then in the shooter market, there's also a ton of free-to-plays.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, if you're talking, I know it's obviously not an extraction shooter, but I'd say as far as free-to-plays go, the kind of game you'd have to try and beat would be Apex.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This looks like a crap version of Apex.
Ages. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just, like I said, I just think people higher up in these companies, the execs in the suits that don't really know, they know about business and money and monetization, but they don't know about games that much. They just know about money.
Yeah.
Which is nice if you've got a good game that people want to play, but I don't know.
It is obviously quite hard, because what you might come up with as an idea of something that, this would be really hip, people love this kind of thing. If your game takes 4 or 5 years to develop, by the time it actually comes out, that thing might not be trendy anymore, or the hip thing. And obviously you've just spunked a load of money, yeah. I mean, this is why companies go for the sure bets. You know what I mean? This is why you used to get an Assassin's Creed every year, why you'd get a COD every year, why it was just a way of them making money. And a lot of the companies sustained their other projects off of those games. Yeah. Like EA, I imagine pretty much most of the experimental stuff EA was doing at the time was funded by its FIFAs and its ice hockey games and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And now those companies are basically just down to those franchises alone, and that's it, because the others, they can't sustain, and they have shareholders to appease.
Yeah. Cool. My last bit of news is about a game that's had a massive update and has become super popular again, and I've never played it. It's also on Game Pass. Lords of the Fallen 2.0 update has released.
Indeed.
And it's made this game super popular online. It's crazy. This game came out about a year or so ago.
I think almost 2 years ago.
Was it about 2 years ago?
It was one of those games that came out at a time where I was really interested in it, because the aesthetic looked really cool.
Yeah.
The character designs and all the rest of it, of the enemies and the setting and all that kind of stuff, and having the dual lamp that shows you a mirror universe to the one that you're in.
Yeah.
And then when the reviews dropped and everyone was kind of on that thing it's pretty meh, I was just I'm going to skip it. But I will say, after watching these things of what they've done with it and the updates, because there's a trailer thing that shows you all the things they've changed.
Yeah.
It's basically had a massive overhaul. It's a completely different game.
Yeah.
And I literally was I can pick that up for a tenner. So I've ordered it. It should be arriving this week.
Yeah.
And I've been really looking forward to playing it, actually.
Yeah, what's really cool about it, it's on Game Pass as well, for those of you that have Game Pass, but they've added some really cool stuff, so you can play the whole game in co-op with someone. It's not like Dark Souls where you only get called in for bosses and things. You can just play the actual full game, all the exploration, everything in co-op, which is fantastic. But they've also...
You get your own loot and stuff as well, don't they?
Yeah, but also you can invite a friend who doesn't even own the game to play it with you as well, which I think is a really cool move.
See, I haven't worked out how that actually works. Like, would I have to own the game, then go down my friends list on the platform I'm on to send that person a code that they can then redeem on the store that would allow them to download it for free or something?
Or is it like you look at the game on the store and it will say, like, download the co-op version or whatever?
Actually, 2 seconds, I will check that now.
Yeah, because it probably is that. I mean, I've not looked.
Maybe, yeah.
Because that's what they did for that It Takes Two and things like that. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to this because I actually initially played it when it came out for only about 20 minutes and I quite dug the vibe, but I was a bit dark souled out at that time, so I never went back to it again. But now they've done this huge update. I'm glad I didn't actually play it fully then because now I get to experience it in full now. And D-Twin on Discord's already said he wants to run through it with me, and it's cross-play as well between PC and the consoles. So I'm going to play it on Game Pass PC, and he's going to download it on his Xbox. So, yeah, I just wanted to give the game a shout out because the dev's been getting a lot of stick online for doing a lot of these updates.
To these customers.
Well, yeah, because so basically the devs have been listening to their customers saying what they want, and initially when the game came out, and you'll see this on the trailer, it says we've listened to the community, and he said we've put in attractive character models now, which is something that the community wanted. So actually the men and the women actually look like men and women. And it actually even says we've added more beautiful options for the women, which is great. But also it says we've removed the body type 1 and 2 and changed it to male or female. And that's obviously got a big subset of the social media people up in arms for doing that. You know what community I'm talking about. And, you know, and even it's gone so bad that the devs have been banned from their own Reddit community by these psychos that don't agree with the changes, which
I have
insane.
Heard that this was like an original community or an original Reddit subreddit they had, and they set up another one a year or so back, and that one's fine. It's just this one they've been kicked off of.
Yeah,
it's still very weird. I mean, Reddit's it is a hive mind.
Of course,
like Reddit almost. Yeah. It's a complete hive mind. If you think, take it things like Twitter or X, it's basically like the Wild West. Like Reddit is just like the Borg.
It is, yeah. I mean, I use Reddit a lot anyway for certain stuff because I find it quite useful. But
it's good for information and stuff, posts on people talking about like issues they've had and how to resolve them. But when it comes to all the political stuff, it's like
don't engage.
There's no line.
Don't engage. Yeah. You know, it's great for the tech because I use it a lot for like technical questions and things like that. But it's just very strange. But no, I'm glad that they've listened to the community and done the updates on the game. I think it looks fantastic, and it's proving to be very popular again, which is
top
what
10
we like
on
to
Steam
see.
bestsellers, didn't it? Hit over after it was released.
Yeah, it's got more players than a lot of games that have come out this year. So this goes to show something. I think that's great.
Yeah, so double checking, I went on the PlayStation Store. So at the moment, it's currently on sale for £16.79. If you want to buy it digitally, if you want the physical copy, you can pick it up for like a tenner in some places. But yeah, next to it is download trial. So I'm guessing it's that.
Yeah.
So
fantastic. That's all my news, guys. Is there anything else you guys wanted to mention?
Just quickly on the Nintendo stuff, the Switch stuff in America. They've announced the prices back up again.
Oh, brilliant! Okay.
Yeah, well, the console's staying the same. They've upped the prices of a lot of the accessories, like
the controller ones are fucking ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's the price of everything then? Because I haven't looked at any of this. So what's the console price?
There's like the camera's gone up a tenner, something else has gone down a £5. They've just completely rejigged all the accessories. Thing is, though, they keep backtracking and they're saying something, and then someone else from Nintendo, like someone will come out and say that all the games, digital and physical, are going to be $80 instead, and stuff like that. And also, we were talking about the Switch 1 games that were getting a Switch 2 port, where it was going to be the Switch 1 cartridge with a download code.
Yeah.
They've backtracked on that and said that will be a full Switch 2 cartridge with everything on it.
Right.
Because it's probably they might just be saying that. I mean, I did hear about this thing of the game key unlocks or whatnot. Yeah. So I believe one of the ones that's doing that is Street Fighter 6.
Yeah.
So basically, you put the cart in, and it basically gives you the download. Like it sets off the download for the game. Now you can actually sell that card on and do whatever with it, because whoever has it next will just do the same thing. They'll plug it in and it will set off the download for it. The issue I think most people should have with that is there will be a time when those servers will not be open for you to do that download. So that plastic key card becomes fucking worthless.
Yeah, it's just everything that was like about Nintendo, the fact it was cheaper than everything else, that all the games were on the cartridge. I know they, not at the beginning, but towards the middle and end of Switch, they started doing some updates, but like it wasn't like anything major. You still had the game all on the cartridge. It's not like it was a full-on, 50 gig update and the game won't work without it. But I don't know, it's just I can't actually buy one because they went on pre-order when I was working the night shift, like during the day, so they all pretty much sold out because they didn't tell us, like in the UK or whatever, when they were going to go. And they don't, none of them seem to be like, synchronized. It's like Argos went like at 10 o'clock in the morning and Shop 2 went at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they were all just sold out pretty quickly. And I just need to wait because also, which they have confirmed it as well, that the Switch 1 backwards compatibility is emulation. And I'm like,
okay.
Even though Nintendo fucking hates emulation, I just want to see how that runs first, because when we're talking, how emulated are we talking about? I mean, is that even going to run full screen on the Switch? Or, because obviously the Switch 2 screen is a bit bigger than the Switch 1 screen. Is it going to be, straight, or is it going to be like, some of the old games that are 4x3, Webby?
Yeah.
Is it going to be like that? So you got big black borders around the entire screen. Is it good?
I imagine the screen dimensions, like we'll say, like there's a 16 by 9. It's going to be roughly that same kind of thing. I don't think you're going to have a weird aspect ratio for that.
No, but I'm just saying, like with emulation, you never know, do you? I mean, I've tried emulation on consoles before, and sometimes, like, I say, emulation, and sometimes the aspect ratio's all out, and you have to roll to the settings. It's just, there's a lot of reasons you think maybe I should just wait. I have to wait now because I can't buy one straight away, but it just should just work, shouldn't it? And I think that's the 24th this week that they can pre-order them. But obviously in America, they've told them pre-order now because the console will be the normal price until it won't be when the whole tariffs thing comes in. Because I think the ones that they've made already and shipped to America, those, because they technically shipped them before any tariffs at all have happened, they won't have to pay anything extra on the ones already on there. So it wouldn't surprise me if in like 2 or 3 months they're just going to up the price of them, the console. Which is not good, is it?
No.
I'm just happy I don't live in America.
Yeah,
It's not much better over here, mate, is it? Let's be honest.
No, not currently, no.
Because they'll probably put it up. I mean, all of them are doing. I mean, Nintendo was saying that, because of tariffs. Well, why are PlayStation putting the price up in the UK? And also, they said they put the price up over here, Webby. That was like midnight Sunday, last week after you recorded. So they waited till midnight when everyone in the Europe was asleep to do it.
Yeah.
Like as if to avoid the bad press or something.
But then I imagine if you buy it from certain places, they're just going to have it at their set price anyway, aren't they? It's not. Yeah. That's just going to be the kind of RRP if you go into like Game or Dixon's or whatever it is. If Dixon's is even still a thing, I don't know.
Don't think so. I don't think that's been a thing for 15 years, mate.
So
what about Maplin?
That's gone. You know. You get Webby talking about Woolies again at this point.
Oh, good times, mate. Good times.
First shop I remember opening on a Sunday.
Whoop. Here we go. Cool. I think that's it, guys, isn't it?
Pretty much, apart from like you said, the Oblivion stuff, which is kind of good news, but at the same time, it's kind of sad news.
Oh yeah, just quick that
because it would be if it is going to be the thing of it being shadow dropped, it means it's going to be a digital only thing, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if it's going to. I mean, there's rumours of it being shadow dropped, but that's not a guarantee, is it?
Oh, it will be. If it'll be one of those things where Microsoft can put a swole in their pants. You know what I mean? Where they'll be like, "Look what we can do. We can just drop this out of the blue." Like they did with what's it, and to be honest, like they've actually started to amass a big catalogue of titles that you can't actually even buy physically.
Yeah,
just digital only games. And it's some of their top big studios.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but people like you, it bothers. Yeah.
I just think it's annoying that 7 years after they announced Elder Scrolls 6, they're releasing a remaster of Elder Scrolls 4 instead.
I mean, I'd like to see what's done to improve, because it's still a fantastic game, and it is a really good game, an amazing soundtrack. It is still my least favourite Elder Scrolls game.
Oh wow!
If you line up Morrowind, that and Skyrim, there's no competition. Morrowind at the top, Skyrim, and then that way down. But for a lot of people, it holds a really special part because it was the first Elder Scrolls game they played, or the first game like that they played. So I can fully understand. Yeah,
360, and I think the brain does things because obviously I played that loads, played Skyrim, and I was like, brilliant. And in your brain, Oblivion plays identically to Skyrim. And exactly the same type of thing. And then I went back because I think they did the old Oblivion and was it the Shivering Isles? They the DLC.
Yeah, that was good.
I imagine that will be part of this package. They can't sell it separately. It should contain everything, even horse armor. This remaster.
Yeah, but they did a 4K whatever Xbox One X update on that, the 360 game a few years ago.
Right.
I think late. Early 2020 or something. So I went back and played the Shivering Isles because I think I had 1000G on Oblivion. But obviously, then it said the DLC's another 200 or something. So I went back and played through all the DLC to get all the achievements, and I was like, oh, I can't believe how horribly this controls and the play, and just how to navigate around where you're supposed to be going. But I suppose that's nostalgia in it. Some of these PS1 games, our brain makes them look like.
Oh yeah, there will be. I mean, even with Morrowind, the actual gameplay on that, outside of the exploration and everything you can actually do, is pretty horrific. Yeah. You just stand there and you swing your fucking weapon. There's no real sort of collision detection or hit sort of detection or anything. It's very much almost like a dice roll, pen and paper type of combat.
Well, I think a lot of games then, I mean, now every game pretty much plays the same way. The left stick move this, the right stick move the cameras. Even when you go back to PS2 games, you're like, what? The right stick doesn't change the camera and things like that.
Oh, it's static.
Yeah, and it's that keeps bringing up a menu, and it just takes you so long to get used to that, but I don't know, that'd be nice to see. Did you say that's the thing is tomorrow, Webby?
Yes, it is. Yes, 4 p.m. Yeah.
UK time, that is.
Yeah.
I think it's like earlier for obviously the Americans. It's all on social anyway. You can just look it up. People are very excited. I mean, I've heard rumours of this being in the works for about a year. I think it was.
I'm surprised that nothing's been leaked out before this. Then, to be honest.
Well, once the people know what it is, I mean, it was like we saw this week, didn't we? Like, always a couple of screenshots, and then today it was like, it's been rated by the ESRB.
Yeah,
it's definitely happening. And then people were poking around on Steam, and they found out it was like 120 gigabytes file size, which is huge when you consider that Skyrim on the 360 was what 3.5 gig. 3.5 gig, wasn't it? Something like that. It's incredible.
Yeah.
How we've just gone that much higher. A lot of people are putting that down to textures, aren't they? Basically, like really making games bigger.
Yeah.
They just don't need to compress anymore. I don't know if they do any data compression at all anymore.
They probably do, mate.
Some companies do. I guarantee they will do for Switch games. They have to, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but they're just putting the price of not doing that onto us, aren't they? You can't, we need 150 gig, tough shit.
Because I think, even Indiana Jones, even on the PlayStation, I think that was still 125 gig or something. That came out this week, didn't it? Just gone. That had a physical release.
Did it?
For some reason, I haven't seen one for Forza. Yeah, maybe it's a Bethesda thing. So.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
There is a lingering hope that they will do a limited version on their website or a physical copy, like in a few months' time or something, for people that want it.
They did a physical copy of Indiana Jones on Xbox, but there was not many copies made at all. I think that's in like CEX for like 60, 70 quid. Like sometimes more than what it was new.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand companies not wanting to mass produce physical copies. Yeah. It makes sense. You're not going to have them lingering up all the places. We've pretty much lost most of the actual game shops, the specialist game shops around. They're mainly now in places like your Argos and your Amazons or your online retailers.
I mean, I wouldn't do it that much, but like, I suppose, who's going to spend like 70 quid on a game when they've either already got Game Pass, or they could just buy Game Pass for a month for like 15 quid and hammer it out in a month and then not play again.
Well, that's what people do, though, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's whereas us, I don't think I've bought an Xbox game this gen. Like first, I think Gears came out really early. That was Game Pass. All the Forza games, Game Pass.
Yeah. But that's what they want. They'd rather have subscribers because most people
that's what they want.
Carry it on, don't they? So
yeah,
cool to the beans, guys.
You could have 2 fun games to talk about next week instead of just one.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be cool because I'm definitely going to be playing Expedition 33 when it comes out on Thursday. So yeah,
I've ordered it.
Nice. Is it out on Thursday though, Webby, or is it Thursday if you pay extra and next week if you?
No, Thursday it's
Thursday.
out. Yeah.
It was because I noticed last week a few games came out on the Thursday, and I was like, that's a bit weird. And then I was like, it's because, Easter Friday or Good Friday.
Yeah, there's no early edition, playable edition or anything like that. So
kudos to that.
Annoying.
Yeah. So, yeah. Cool. Well, guys, I think that's about it, isn't it? Let's go and let Nick go to bed.
No questions.
No, we did the one question.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the wrestling one, wasn't
it? Yeah. But thank you for reminding me, in case I've forgotten. Cool. Okay, on that note, guys, thank you very much for coming on. It's been awesome. Big thank you to those of you that have stayed with us on the Twitch. And, awesome. So from all of us here, it's been great. We shall see you next week. Goodbye.